Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, and welcome world to the virtual world, as well as those of you who came this morning in person, which is awesome because your love and your vibe and your uniqueness kind of splatters and comes this way so that Theo and I can enjoy you today. So today we have the last Sunday of April, and April has been stepping into the unknown, really embracing the mystery. And so in that place of mystery today, we're going to look at choice, how we get to choose, and that our choices are important. And that's why it's so important they're conscious, so that we can choose from freedom, we can choose from responsibility, we can choose from wisdom. My name is Frankie, and I'm the spiritual director here at Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, and today I have the honor to serve with Theo. Theo Tilton is one of our licensed practitioners, and he's just a wisdom shining light in the world with many other ways that he shows up in the world. And so if you want to support this community and what we do here, you can go onto our website and learn more about that. We even created a little sheet that you can grab on the way out, or that you can look for on the website, and many different ways to give. My favorite one right now is texting. All I have to do is enter my information once and then just text whatever I want to give. It's now I have to be careful because it's so much fun that I just keep wanting to give. So check that one out. And we are opening our community to new members. So if any of you are interested in membership, just come and talk to me. There's a form in the back. It does require a discovery class, which will be scheduled soon, but being a member of a community means that not only do you get to receive, but you get to give of your talents and gifts, which is what creates community, right? And so if you're on Facebook or on YouTube, say hello, give us a little circle, share the page, share our events with others, and start a watch party. Let us know, give us some feedback, because we're very open to that. So we are really blessed today because Theo is one of these people that shares his wisdom and his gifts all over in many forms, and today he gets to give it as a practitioner, licensed practitioner here. So he's going to take us through a guided meditation. Let me say hello over here. A guided meditation and an opening treatment. So enjoy, Theo.
Alrighty. So I'm Theo Tilton, licensed practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living in Morristown. And I'm just gonna open us up with a treatment. And then I'm gonna go into a guided meditation. So right here, right now, in this moment, I recognize that there is a vibrational source of life, of energy, that is in this moment. It is omnipresent. There is no place where this vibrational energy is not. So it must be right where I am. It must be right where all of us are. We are at the center of it, where the edge is absolutely nowhere. And so it's perfect, it's whole, it's complete. It is filled with the omniscience, the wisdom of all of life, from the eternity before into the eternity to come. Completely infinite mind. And we have access to it. That is the teaching that the science of mind teaches. And so in learning it, this wisdom, we get to practice it consciously. So this community and any new members coming to this community, we welcome the opening of that mind of that wisdom, access to that knowledge to practice on a daily basis. And so that is why I am here. That is why we are here. And so I call that good and very good and glorious, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for this community and all of the shifts and transformations in the areas of love and relationships and community and abundance and health that have shown up in my life, in all of our lives. And so with that, I say thank you. I release it now, and I let it be, and so it is. And so now let's just take a moment and focus on the breath. In whatever position is comfortable for you, give yourself a moment to adjust, settle in, get rooted. And just notice any thoughts that might be drifting by, or something that might be occupying your mind right now. And give yourself permission just to notice it and let it drift by. And let's enter into a space behind the veil of the eyes we have closed right now. A space of complete nothingness, darkness. And now, gazing out into the darkness, you see a rectangular white light. And it starts coming towards you. And as it's coming towards you, this rectangular light seems to get bigger and bigger. Now this rectangular light is right in front of you. You see a faint image inside of this rectangular light. You're not quite sure what it is. Something inside of you knows that this thing, this image, has something to share. Wisdom, knowledge. Now the image becomes very clear. It starts to sharpen up on the edges. You begin to see this image get clearer and clearer. That image is you. As if you're looking into a mirror. But this is not an ordinary mirror. There's something different that you notice. You recognize that it's you. But something seems a little different. That you, that reflection, is the future you. All of your desires, wishes, prayers, affirmations, meditations that have led you into some future desired moment, that you exists already on the other side of this mirror. That future you is open. It's wise. It's already made all of the choices. It's already taken all of the action. It has already achieved the thing that you desire to have. Something inside of you becomes very curious. What did I do from where I am? What was the one step I took today? What was the wisdom that I had access to? What was the choice that I made today to take that action? Now listen. Listen to the reflection in the mirror. What is it telling you? It may have told you just one thing, or it may have told you a dozen things. And now, it's up to your present self. You notice that the mirror begins to fade away. And you're back right here in this present moment. And you are left in that space of nothingness. We discover that in this present moment, this is where the power to choose comes from. What did the mirror tell you? You can choose to do it or not to do it. And I assert that you did choose because that future self already exists. So you were a yes. So in your mind, say yes. I choose yes. Say yes again, and notice that the darkness begins to lighten up. You start to see light everywhere, all around you, 360 degrees of light. Say yes again, and notice that it gets brighter and brighter. Say yes one more time. And know that that future is already here. It's already now. And open your eyes. And so it is.
I want you to repeat after me. You don't need any lyrics right now. I am as God created me. Together?
I am as God created me.
In the light.
In the light.
In the love.
In the love.
In the glory.
In the glory.
How many really believe that? Give me an amen.
Amen.
That's all you gotta know for this song. Sing it from the gut of who you are. Let us raise the roof off this place with an energy of transformation, an energy of peace, love, joy, and all that is good and holy. An energy of God with skin on that you are. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. Raise your voice. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. I am. Yes, you are. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. and the glory, in the light, in the love, and the glory I am. It sounds great. Give yourself a round of applause.
No. That was Unity Community in Atlanta singing for us and singing with us. So I'm so grateful to Theo, because Theo really set the tone, didn't he? And if you want to experience more of that tone, we do have our circle of truth afterwards, here in person, safely distanced, as we have had this whole month, where I know there's some healings going on. So Theo is going to facilitate that in a little bit. So I should put my microphone on. Mask, microphone, glasses, hair, earrings.
Check.
Check. So I want to start by reading from this amazing book, The Science of Mind. And the reason that I picked this reading today is because this is what we studied with the practitioner training this week. They just finished their first term and they're in their second term. And it really spoke to me. It's the chapter on page 190, How to Build Your Tomorrow Today. And I'm reading 4 paragraphs to you, which is a little longer than I usually like to read, but I want to pause in between, and I want you to hear it from your higher self, to really take it in, like Theo was inviting us to see our tomorrow today, to really be that future self. Let this be the voice of your future self. Life is an adventure in which we never know what is going to happen just beyond the turn of the road. I got to read that one again. Life is an adventure in which we never know what's going to happen just beyond the turn of the road. But too often, our today is filled with regrets over the past. If we could convince ourselves that the limitations of the past need not be carried into the future, what a happy outlook we should have. So maybe in the practice that you did with Theo, you saw a self that was free of any regret. It's kind of what I saw, a sense of freedom to be more of who I am. He says, one of the outstanding things that Jesus taught was that the mistakes of yesterday can be canceled. That God's creation is always taking place, and no matter what the experience of yesterday may have been, they can be changed. So we may not be able to change the actual situation, but we can definitely change how we look at it. With the choice of freedom, it's a whole different view, right? Jesus did not seem to think that this required months and years of strenuous effort. Unlike those around him, he knew that God, or the divine spirit, wishes only good for everyone. He knew that we are all rooted in pure spirit, in perfect life, and that at any moment we can so unify ourselves with the power of good that evil will disappear from our experience. Last paragraph. Even as what we did yesterday set the law of life in motion to create what we're doing today, so what we are doing today sets the same law in motion to create what will happen to us tomorrow. What we did yesterday is carried over into today only because we've given our consent to it. What we're thinking and doing today can create a kind of tomorrow we wish to experience if we will change our outlook on life. So every moment is a moment where we can realize, I've never been here before. Every new day can be a day where we say, it's really a new day. I have never experienced this before. But instead, our human nature, our human ego mind tends to have fear about the unknown, about the next moment, the next day, the next week, the next year, the unknown. But our spiritual self already knows it to be a great adventure. So thinking about it as an adventure creates a different experience than when we think of it as a struggle, right? So I have been on vacation a few times in my life. Anyone else here been on vacation? And sometimes, often when you go on vacation, you don't know what to expect. I mean, you can check out the hotel online or what kind of food they serve in that land, but many times you don't know, and yet we're excited of anticipation. We can't wait. We can't wait to have a new experience, to explore the land, the food, the experience, the nature. That's how we get to look at life from a spiritual perspective. That, oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait to experience what is before me, what is next, even if we have some information about it. So it's important to notice that whenever we have butterflies, whenever we have anxiety, and it's not always fear, sometimes it's just pure anticipation and where you can't wait. And so we can flip that at any time. We can flip it from, oh, I'm so scared what's going to happen tomorrow, to let's see what kind of adventure that brings me. And the beauty of being on a spiritual path is knowing that you have a knapsack with all kinds of great tools in it that you can use no matter what you encounter. And so choosing to be free then, choosing from your freest, most pure, most true, most essential self, is always knowing that you have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom to choose how you enter that experience, how you step into that family or that group of people, how you show up at work, how you show up in the world. And the more conscious we are about that, the more we can make it an adventure, and the more we then, as a magnet, bring into our experience. I love playing with that because I always get to have a unique experience. The other day I was exploring my neighborhood where I've now lived for 6 years, and I found a new path to walk. And actually I can get on that path on my bicycle to go from one community to another that's not really connected. And so how beautiful is that? And I hear a buzz. I'm going to turn it off. It's this. Okay. Must be my hearing. And so the idea of choosing freedom has to extend beyond the boundary of self. Meaning, I have to wish that for everyone. And I have to honor that in everyone, whether I agree with it or not, I like it or not. And so we just had Earth Day, and I was actually depressed on Earth Day. I'm just shocked and find it horrible that I and all my brothers and sisters on the planet have done so much damage to our Mother Earth. I'm not saying I'm not doing anything, I'm doing my best. There's always room to do more, right? I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I'm just grieving over what humanity has done to the planet simply because of greed. Simply because we think we need more, we need to have more, we need to hoard more, right? And so this is an opportunity for us today to really look at that from a spiritual perspective. How can I step into tomorrow knowing what it is that I love for our planet, and what does that require of me? What choices must I make? So what are one of the things that you would love to see on our planet that will represent healing to you? Our Mother Earth. What would you love to see happen on the earth so that you see her heal?
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Love, more love, yes. What else?
Plant more trees.
Planting more trees. What else?
End to commercial fishing.
The end of commercial fishing. I'd love to see clean water.
No plastics.
No plastics.
Less pollution.
Less pollution. Yeah, so we all have a vision for what that could look like, right? If this is the first time you've ever thought of it, add that to your practice or to your day of thought. Like, what would that look like? What would I want it to be? And so we get to always have it be something that comes from what we love about our planet, what we love about our Earth, how we want to take care of it. And that requires that we bring a freedom of choice, right? That's for the highest and best for everyone. And so that requires us to choose wisely. We've just chosen freely, now we're going to choose wisely. Everything that we do is a message to our Mother Earth. It either says, I don't care, I'm going to trash you, or it says, I'm doing my part to help you heal. There's not much in between, right? Unless we have no choice. I am somebody who carries around glass containers when I pick up food or when I take home leftovers. That has not been allowed for almost a year. I'm horrified at all the paper cups, paper containers, plastic forks, plastic cups, plastic containers. Like there wasn't enough before the quarantine, right? And so I bring, and now we're allowed again to do that. So we purchase some, and that's what we take with us. And it feels good to do one simple thing, right? And so it's the choice of higher freedom. So we want to think about things like gardening. How many of you are gardeners? Yeah, we have a few gardeners. I'm a mini gardener. I have a mini garden, like it's about this big, and a few pots. And so I've been a really, really strong voice that at home we do not use toxic products in the garden for beautiful grass. It's a bit of a fight. But we all must be aware that the toxins that we use in our garden is taken in by our bodies, it's taken in by the animals around us, it's taken in by our own pets, it's taken into our food. So we all have a responsibility to find a different solution than Roundup, just so our yards look pretty. It's now been proven that Roundup is cancer causing. Of course, we believe consciousness creates our reality, but when our experience in the earth is to say, I have to do my part to protect our mother because what I give is what I receive, cause and effect, then it changes something, right? Consuming. The things that we consume, that we put into our body and on our body makes a difference. Do you know that most likely one of the things you're wearing now has been made through slave labor by maybe a child of 5 who gets paid a penny a year? You must know that what you purchase makes a statement. This is 100% organic, and it's made by somebody who is given a living wage in Europe. These are not. They're probably made in China somehow, right? So we do our best. Instead of buying more clothes because you don't have enough in your closet, make choices about buying less and making sure that it's made not by slave labor, that it's a product that does not require Roundup, because if we buy organic cotton, then there's no need for Roundup in the growth of cotton. And so that you do a little bit of research on the things that you purchase, where they're made, how they're made, by whom they're made, and what that person gets paid. Those are really important things, is to really think, well, what do I consume and how do I consume? Do I go to Family Dollar? Not that that's a bad thing. I'm not making anyone wrong, but we just want to be really aware of how do I consume and where does this come from. They are now finding plastic in the ocean because of all our yoga pants. Everything that has polyester in it, every time you wash it and dry it, there's polyester that comes out of it and it goes into our environment. We have to be aware of those things, right? I wasn't aware of that until 2 years ago. I have 20 yoga pants, right? Purchasing, you know, it's similar to consuming, but consuming is what we put in and on the body and in our home, right? But there's even a deeper process of what we purchase. That's, I kind of said both. Do you pray for the Mother Earth every single day? Do you bless her? Do you love her when you walk on her? When you pick a flower? when you're taking care of your little home, your environment, your garden. Our mother, the earth, needs our prayers. We can include her in our treatment work, right? Blessing the planet, knowing that she is worthy of our love. And then really think about what are some of the choices that I've made in my life that are unconscious, that does not support humanity or our planet. What can I let go of? What can I do less of? What can I add? And maybe even you're thinking about it right now, where you're saying, Bill said plastics. If anybody is buying bottled water, stop it now. Not only is the plastic that you're buying toxic and it's leaking into your water when you drink it, but it is creating havoc on our planet. You can get a bottle and get a filter. You'll save a lot of money, by the way. And not only do you protect your own health, but you protect our planet. And of course, occasionally we buy a bottle. I do. If I'm somewhere and I'm thirsty, that's what I get. But I think about it, right? I think about the item. I think about where it comes from, all that. So you want to think that. But every time I see somebody buying a case of small bottles at Costco or a store, I'm like, I want to grab them by the neck and say, don't you know what you're doing? Not only are you drinking poisoned water, but those bottles, where do they go? Where do they come from? Recycling isn't that same. It gets shipped to China. I watched a nature movie the other day, and it was talking about how orcas are dying like crazy because their mother's milk, when she has a baby, is so polluted that it kills her babies. We did that. We do that every day. We're a part of that, right? So does that mean we can save the orcas? Maybe not, but we can do better, right? So this is for a better tomorrow for all of us, not just for us. And so that means we have to choose courageously and not with angst and fear, because that's not courage. Courage says, okay, I know I have some fear, but hey, I can master it. I can overcome it. I can learn some things about myself. So in the Science of Mind magazine, I am so loving this month. There's a quote by Richard Bach. Remember Richard Bach? What did he write again? What was that? Jonathan Livingston Seagull? Yes. He says, when he talks about courage, he says, it must happen to all of us, the movement from safety and security to boldly living in the world and being spiritually conscious and aware in our expression. He says it must happen to all of us. We pack up what we've learned so far and leave the familiar behind. No fun that shearing separation, but somewhere within we must dimly know that saying goodbye to safety brings the only security we will ever know. To learn anything, you must put aside the safety of your own ignorance. So choosing responsibly then means having the ability to respond, and because we have learned so much and it's all in our backpack, it's already in the ground of our being, we can now step into life in a more responsible way, being able to respond. Those of us who call ourselves spiritual, or spiritually awake, spiritually conscious, spiritually aware, we have a bigger responsibility. More is asked of us than the average not so conscious person, because we know. And you know this, because sometimes you say, oh, I know I shouldn't do this, but you do it anyway, or I know I shouldn't eat this and you eat it anyway. You know the consequences. We're not stupid, right? And so when we know something, we have a bigger responsibility. And so from that place, we act so that we are proactive in living the vision for tomorrow for everyone instead of secure and safe, because that makes us complicit. And I'm going to talk more about that, how that unfolds in a social, worldly setting in May, because in May we're talking about holy, holy uprising. But when we know our vision, when we can see what we would love in the future, when we know the teaching, when we act from it, then there is a greater freedom for ourselves and everyone else, because what I give, I receive. What I receive, I give. Then I am the wise one, because wisdom means intelligence and love connected. Then I am more responsible when I consume, when I move through the world, when I take care of my body and my home and of the ones I love. And so we're the change agents. We are the change agents. If you're listening to this, it's because you're the change agent. We are the ones that are transforming fear into faith, fear into freedom, freeing ourselves of lack and limitation. And that changes the world because it shows a new way to live. It shows a way of living with care, compassion, love. We are the change agents because we know to live in gratitude, because gratitude creates more to be grateful for. We are the change agents because we know that praising something raises it. Cursing and complaining about it keeps it right there, like Velcro. We are the change agents because we know how to move and navigate our way through challenges with difficult people, with difficult issues, in a world that may not reflect what we love. And it's really just one thing at a time, one step at a time. So I hope you're already thought of doing something differently because you're in love with our planet. And you want to be able to breathe healthy air, drink healthy water, and live on a healthy planet. We have a ways to go. It doesn't look good. But we can do something to be a part of the healing. At minimum, keep her in your prayers every day. I love what Thich Nhat Hanh says. It's a little prayer. Dear Mother Earth, each morning when I wake up, you offer me 24 brand new hours to cherish and enjoy your beauty. You gave birth to every miraculous form of life. Your children include the clear lake, the green pine, the pink cloud, the snow-capped mountaintop, the fragrant forest, the white crane, the golden deer, the extraordinary caterpillar, and every brilliant mathematician, skilled artist, and gifted architect. You are the greatest mathematician, the most accomplished artisan, and the most talented architect of all. The simple branch of cherry blossoms, the smell of a snail, and the wing of a bat all bear witness to this amazing truth. My deep wish is to live in such a way that I'm awake to each of your wonders and nourished by your beauty. I cherish your precious creativity, and I smile to this gift of life. So before I close with the healing treatment, I want to just remind you of a few things. That every Tuesday we have our reading circle, which is a wonderful group of people exploring the book of Secrets by Deepak Chopra. You can join anytime. Don't even have to read the book. Just show up. It's on Tuesday nights on Zoom. There's extra flyers in the back. And then tomorrow night we have a very special event because Michael Malik, who's in our production booth, is teaching a workshop. Also flyers on the back. It's also online. Unlock the Sacral Chakra. It is from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and again, it's on Zoom. All the information is on the flyer. And then Kat Roman is doing a mandala drawing workshop, which is really fun. And we want to invite you to a special event, which is an event by NJ Together, which is a wonderful community organization that we are a part of, that are focusing on the Morris area issues of racism, of home inequity, of mental illness, and of, there's one more thing. It's just like, oh no, I do know. Criminal justice, yes. So they're having a meeting on May 10th, and it's online, and it's going to be really amazing. So if anybody wants to be a part of that in our greater community, let me know. Flyers in the back. anybody can join from anywhere in New Jersey because we're really doing some good work in the area, so you're invited to be a part of that. And take a look at the table because there's all kinds of goodies back there if you are present. So, I love this spiritual community, and I love all of Centers for Spiritual Living communities. There are many all over the planet, and a lot of them are online now, so I feel really privileged that we're doing this as well, in-house and online. I'm so glad Michael made that happen, and that we can continue to improve this. Now we are available all over the planet in many different ways for anyone who has internet. That's a blessing. And that's what you get to support and be a part of. So let's close with a healing treatment. I invite you to close your eyes and to just take a breath. And if you wish, then put your hands on your heart as a way to connect more deeply with the body that houses your soul, your spirit. This is a divine sacred temple that carries your spirit, your soul around. And so right here, right now, we know that there is this infinite intelligence that is pure love. And maybe we think, how can intelligence and love be in the same sentence? But the truth is that intelligence, the infinite intelligence of the universe, is visible everywhere we look, whether it's at a person or at a chair or at a flower or at a cocoon with a caterpillar in it or at the sky. We can see this intelligence because we never even have to think about making sure the sun rises and sets. And so it is this intelligence that operates in our mind, our body, and our soul. And we can access it. It requires our conscious cooperation. It requires that we make choices that are for our highest and best, and therefore the highest and best for everyone on this planet, including the planet itself. And so today we take greater responsibility for being on a spiritual path, doing the good work in the world with love and patience and self-awareness and compassion, letting go of any judgment, fear, or concern. Because it's how we step into this role that creates our new tomorrow. With gratitude and awe then for the creative process and how uniquely it manifests itself through each and every one of us. We turn this over to the universal law and let it do the good work. And so it is. Thank you.